Hey guys, and it's finally weekend, it's Friday, and you boys all know what we're gonna do then, right? As usual, it's time for a little Monster. Oh, it's weekend. And I have an update for you. I actually spoke with one of, spoke with one of the tuners here in Sweden, and it's a special company. They have huge experience of doing GTRs, Zs, and other cars. They do any cars in the world, but they're specialized into GTRs and Zs. Then we talked a little about. I had a vision of, you know, the plastic manifold that the 370G and all the other Gs have. It doesn't look good, and I've heard that the performance is, yeah, it's okay, right? So I'm thinking about taking the manifold from a GTR and welding it together with the lower manifold on the G. So he said, yeah, okay, we have some laying around on the shelf. We sell them to the US. So I just said, can I buy one from you? And yeah, they're gonna send down a GTR manifold, the upper and the lower, so I can modify it and weld it to the lower manifold on the G. And then we're gonna have the GTR 560cc injectors on this car and all the other mods with the cold air intake and all the upgrades on the exhaust system. I think we can manage. Okay, the goal is maybe around about 400 horsepower or around about there. It's a 330 stock, so I hope for 400. I have an automatic transmission, so my hopes are not that high for that transmission, so I'm gonna hold it on the safe side. It's gonna be interesting seeing what the guys at JRM it's so hard to say it on English. We say it in Swedish. You see, I can speak. Okay, that's goodbye. So we actually got back the manifold that we began with, and it's gonna be so epic. So we're gonna finish off the GTR manifold today, and I'm gonna try to just explain what we did. And huge shout out to Christian Sutt and Mölle, who actually made this possible. This is actually what we got. This is pretty cool, guys. So in stages, I'm gonna try to explain this for you. So the lower part is actually from the G37 intake, and that's where the fuel rail is. And then we actually added custom tubes. Everything is in aluminium, so I didn't dare to actually TIG weld this. My knowledge is not that good when it comes to TIG and aluminium. When it's metal, it's no problems. And Mölle is a magician with the welder, so this is really cool. That's the GTR manifold that we have here. And so to match this, Christian Sutt actually made this in his workshop. So it's a new plate that actually meets the manifold. And here you can actually see the ports, the teardrops that Mölle actually did. So yeah, first of all, we're gonna try to actually grind down the teardrops that we have in the ports right now, so make it silky smooth. And then we're actually gonna just fit it on the car, on the motor, and we're gonna have some issues, I know that. The fuel rail is gonna probably have to be a little bit modified how you actually mount it on the manifold, but I hope to actually gain 20 horsepower just with the manifold and all the other components that we actually have on the car right now. And yeah, let's begin this Friday with the manifold. So we're gonna port it, or we're gonna grind down the teardrops from the welds, and then we're gonna actually test fit it on the motor, and we're gonna modify the fuel rail, and we're actually gonna mount the new injectors that we actually got from JRM. Ooh. So guys, if anyone's actually thinking about doing this, It's time consuming, just so you know. It's really time consuming, but I really hope it's gonna give the results, and it makes a big difference. I'm like shocked of, I've been doing this quite a long time, but you find your tricks and nicks to do it. And we began with the diamond cut Dremel bit, and then we went over to an actually 60 grit sandpaper on this kind of model. And now I'm actually going from the 60 to 180, and wow, it almost looks polished, but I'm gonna try to show you the difference now, and hopefully you can see it through the camera, but it's a big difference. So here we got the 180 grit paper, and it's beginning to get really smooth. And in the last ports we have only done the 60 grit, and you can also see the pores and the grind marks from the sandpaper. You see it's a big difference only between a 60 grit and a 180 grit. And as you saw it before, damn, it was really rough, and it's getting there. But this is the process. It takes time, but hopefully it's worth it. And I'm so psyched actually just to get it on the car. I want to see how it looks, how it fits. Have you done the right thing now or not? So that's next one. So we're actually, when we're done with this, we're actually going to mount everything on it and see how it looks. And hopefully soon we're going to get this baby down on her feet again. And that's my mission for this weekend. So yeah, let's get cracking and do some more sanding. I really wanted to do a supercharged kit or a turbo kit on this. Unfortunately, the money isn't there. We have so much work going on to this car. It's everything from sound components and rims and tires and everything. Paint especially, it's going to be super expensive. And all the modifications, they are quite expensive. And I think a supercharger kit or a turbo kit goes for like $6,000, I think, and I currently don't have that money. I paid a lot of money just to buy this car and then actually get it to Sweden. That cost a lot too. But hey, I'm trying to get sponsors. I have a lot of sponsors, and a huge shout out to them. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to actually build all the cars I got. If anyone's actually watching this and has a kit laying around and you know you want to sell it cheap, I'm really interested. So just DM me or get in contact with me. And yeah, now to moving on to actually fitting this stuff on the car. I'm gonna search for the gaskets I stored somewhere. Let's get this on. I'm super hyped for this. What I actually did prepare now is actually I just added the fuel rail. This is actually how it looks right now. I added the injectors and we're going to change them out. So these are actually the old ones. Yeah, ports are looking awesome. I'm really happy with those. And now we shall see if it actually will fit. Now actually over to the creme de la creme of the resistance. I don't know if you can French, I can't either. But damn, that's gonna be so epic. And I have it. Oof. Yeah, that looks really nice, guys. Sorry, I have to go up here. That looks awesome, and everything fits so far. What we're gonna focus on now, I'm gonna just check everything with the hoses where everything should be connected. But this is actually how this looks right now, and I'm actually super happy with this. Yes, guys, this has taken a long time, but I actually think it looks really cool, and hopefully, as I said 100 times before, this is gonna show on the dyno. So guys, this is actually it for today's episode, but we're actually finished with the GTR manifold and everything's buttoned up. So we did mount the GTR injectors, we did the lower baffling to actually be able to mount the GTR manifold onto the G engine, and the throttle bodies are on, and we're now gonna move over to the intake tubing, but that's gonna be in the next episode. I hope you liked today's episode. I know I can be very keen to go into the details, but I'm trying to actually hold it as simple as possible. If you actually liked today's episode, please thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And see you next Sunday. Have a good morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. See ya!